Welcome back, everyone, to another video of the Yankees Den podcast. I am your host, Lorenzo Scarabino. Sorry for the late post, but I had work today and had to catch up on the game, rewatch it, saw what happened. I saw bits and pieces of things at work, but I just want to go over this because it's only two games into June that we have played, and we haven't looked great so far. I mean, I know it's only two games and that's not a large sample size, but we all know what happens in June. So it is a little bit concerning. We hope it doesn't get out of hand and that it starts to unravel and we enter the June swoon, as we know is upon us around this time. And Aaron Judge, we have some things on him that I'm a little concerned about, to say the least. So I just want to touch up on that and break down this Gerrit Cole start. We start off by losing 4-5 with to the Guardians, a real good Guardians offense. To be honest with you, I've seen their record and they're pretty decent. They're ahead of the AL Central, and you know I'm gonna give them credit for their offense because I feel like a lot of people don't talk about it enough, but their offense seems to be, like a Rays lineup, and it's really similar, and it's crazy how similar that lineup is to the Rays, but it's great. I love watching the play. It's a frustrating to play against, but let's jump into, a little bit of what happened tonight. Gerrit Cole didn't have his full stuff in the first two starts that we did see. In his third start tonight, he goes five in the third inning, six hits, four earned runs, one walk, two strikeouts. Now, as I just mentioned, and we see in the stat line and the box score, he has two strikeouts. He had two strikeouts the first game and still navigated through the Rays lineup and pitched really solid. So I'm not worried about that so much to say. But also, to be honest, he gave up a home run in the second inning to Manzardo on a curveball, which I don't think was a bad pitch or bad location at all, outside the zone, down and in. And Manzardo just puts a good swing on it, I think, right? And then you have the two-run homer. Jose Ramirez hasn't been all that good like he's usually is every year. But of course, he comes to Yankee Stadium. He's hitting over 400 at Yankee Stadium, the best batting average of any player at Yankee Stadium, which, that's great. But he comes in not playing great. Obviously, he's playing great against the Yankees because he's in the stadium and he's got great numbers. But Cole didn't have all his stuff tonight. And hopefully that is not an issue moving forward. I don't think it will be. It was just the home runs. He allowed three home runs. That was it. They really didn't hit anything else that well. He was taken out, I believe, after 83 pitches, which, okay, I guess they're slowly building him up in the major leagues by his pitch count, but let him navigate through the lineup another time and, pitch more. Just, get comfortable. Even if, he gives up more or squanders more runs, because you are using this bullpen so much. And this is what Boone loves to do every year. This is why we have every year a June swoon, I believe, because every year the relievers can't hold on to leads because they're all taxed by June, July, August. They're all taxed by this time. And Boone loves to go to his bullpen when he doesn't need to, even though Gerrit Cole is coming off of Tommy John surgery. So that's a little bit of an excuse for him. But he pulls him after 83, and Fernando Cruz does his job. But then Tim Hill, he gives up another run, doesn't even pitch a full inning, only pitches two-thirds inning, and he's been atrocious as of late. I don't know what's going on. Is his luck running out after the first couple years with the Yankees? I mean, this is just not a good sign and not what you want, especially from what's supposed to be one of your top guys in our bullpen. Shows that we don't have a deep bullpen or good bullpen at all whatsoever, and it needs to be taken care of immediately. So that's just something that's, if a June Soon's going to happen, that's going to be the reason why. Also, Aaron Judge not in the lineup again. The presence, you can feel it's missed in that clubhouse, in that lineup. Just this scare factor of he's coming up. You don't want to get to that part of the order because he's coming up. Now all you have to worry about is, okay, Trent Grisham's coming up. All right. Ben Rice, yes, that's you're scared of him, but it was Ben Rice, Judge, Bellinger. Now it's just Ben Rice, Bellinger, and then it cools off a little bit. Then you have Jazz swinging for the fences. He finally hit one today that we could all get up for, but it still results in a loss. He went 1 for 4 today. I think another notable Caballero went 2 for 4. He hit a home run today. I really like that he's still hitting and producing, even though he's moving around the field and not staying at shortstop. So he was in right field again with Judge out of the lineup. We have Wells doing absolutely nothing, going 0 for again, which is unacceptable. Can't talk about it enough how terrible he's been and how much Ascara needs to get in there until we get someone at the deadline. Now, after all of this, I mean, you know, it's really frustrating. It really is to look up at that scoreboard and see that the Yankees lost, because you look aside of the scoreboard at Yankee Stadium, you see it, and then on the other side, you see all the other scores, and you see that Tampa loses again. So today's a day you get 2 straight days in a row to tie them in the East, and you can't do it. You can't get it done against the Guardians. Granted, Gavin Williams is a phenomenal pitcher. I've been watching him for his first few years and just watched him grow. And this year, he looks really polished, even though honestly, he didn't have his best stuff tonight against the Yankees. I think they did a pretty good job of getting to him a little bit there in the sixth, but I mean, he's a really good pitcher. Cleveland's got great arms. They just develop everyone. I mean, their closer, Kate Smith, he's unbelievable. He's got unbelievable stuff. I thought it was nice of Paul Goldschmidt to get a double there in the ninth inning. I also want to point out a positive and all of this negativity is Cody Bellinger. I mean, you also cannot say this enough, how much of a great ball player and how much of a that word ball player he is. He is a straight up ball player, and that's what you want out of every player. You're not going to get an Aaron Judge out of every player. You want someone Bellinger-esque like that. He has in the sixth inning, runner on third, and in the ninth inning, runner on third with one out, and he gets a sac fly. He gets the job done, and that's what he's done since he's come over to the Yankees. He's been phenomenal, should be at the All-Star game this year. He got snubbed the last year. I mean, he is great, and I love that. Now, I want to bring up something else, talking about this game and how we lost and it didn't go so well. So there's not much really to talk about, much positives, because it's just, you know, not that great. And thank you to my other co-host yesterday, Jimmy. What a great episode we had talking baseball. He's going to come on maybe a few times a week. So we'll have him pop on, and I love his mind, and talking with him brings up good points and sparks, more thoughts in my mind that, I branch off onto, and he's got really strong points. So I love that. Now, going off of yesterday, we were talking about trades a lot, and I feel like we're going to be doing this a lot for the next few episodes and live streams. When I'm with him, I'm going to go live a little more so we can interact with the chat together. But I want to point out someone under the radar pickup, to be honest with you. And one of those pickups where Cashman's like, you don't know what he's going to do, and he's just staying silent, and it's kind of out of nowhere, like the Anthony Rizzo trade that happened a few years ago, or Joey Gallo, is Royce Lewis of the Minnesota Twins. Now, Royce Lewis is injury prone, very injury prone. He could not stay healthy, but he is a heck of a player, has all the tools when right and healthy. He's gotten healthy this year. He came back. He's been bad. He got put down to the minor leagues. He's been raking in the minor leagues. Now, this is why I said you get him now. He's injury prone, so he might be a little cheaper for that. he's in the minor leagues and he came back this year and hasn't played great. So maybe he's cheaper. I think he's someone you can get for a cheap with a ton of upside if healthy. And I think he's a great change of scenery guy. You bring him over to the Yankees. He plays third base. He plays a pretty decent third base. He's young. He's quick. He brings a spark and energy like a Rosario or Caballero. I think that's a really under the radar pickup. Now, speaking of that, it would just be great. You have him, then you could put McMahon on the bench if you want defense replacement, more versatility. McMahon could also play shortstop as we've seen. I have to look into it. Maybe Royce Lewis can move around the infield as well and just give you a lot more options off the bench. But going off of this topic, talk about the game, this trade, I want to bring up a tweet by Bryan Hoch on X. And, let's look at it. He has an injury update for us. And Aaron Judge out of the lineup. Uh, he's awaiting results. We'll talk about that. I want to get into that a little bit. Jason Dominguez, live BP. He will begin a rehab Friday. That is huge. I would love to see him back in the lineup. Chavilli, I don't really care about. You could send him back to the minor league. Maybe he could come up, be a help because our bullpen stinks right now. This is great sign for Max Fried throwing 75, increasing to 90 soon. Giancarlo Live BP usually skips the running. I don't know. He doesn't run a lot very often. I think he'll be back soon, hopefully in the next month. This is great for Clark Schmidt, hopefully to have him back end of July. You know, maybe sooner, but that's the expectation. I think end of July, early August. But with that being said, I also want to bring up another tweet from Aaron Boone from Gary Phillips, but per Aaron Boone, actually, after the game today, he said that Aaron June specialist, what we've seen to this point with Aaron Judge, but the Yankees want an additional look, some more specific spots in the rib cage. We just want clarity on what exactly we're dealing with. Now, this does not make me feel good inside. This makes me feel very bad and unsure about what's going to happen with Judge. I do think he is going to land on the IL, and that could be a big issue, especially with June around and the June swoon. And just moving forward, especially like set aside talking about the June swoon, still, if he's out for 6 to 8 weeks, or you don't even know, a month, July, he's out of July too, then I mean, this team's gonna have to, Austin Wells is gonna have to step up. Jazz Chisholm is gonna stop having to try and hit home runs every at bat and actually be a solid ball player and shorten up. We're gonna need guys to step up if that happens, and that's when a Wells can step up and do something and help this lineup. But now the reason why I say I don't like that at all, Boone saying that, is because that just tells me there's something there and they're trying to make sure it's that spot or something like that. I don't know. I really don't think that's a good sign. That's bad. Because they had to have seen something to say that. They know there's something there. So they're seeing now just to see the timetable, whether it's going to be, a 10-day or 15-day or like longer, shorter time period or what they should do. Definitely 100%, or I won't say 100, 90% sure I think he's going to go on the IL. Hopefully, we'll have the news report tomorrow on him. And I don't like that at all. Hopefully, tomorrow we have Rodon on the bump for the third game, the final set of this series. And then we face the Red Sox 3 games. We have to win tomorrow. Hope the Rays lose. But no matter what, win tomorrow with Rodon on the mound. You don't want to lose a series coming in with Schlittler, Cole, and Rodon, because those are basically what have been your top 3 guys aside from Max Fried because he's injured. So, and Rodon and Cole came off an injury, but those are big names that you want to be pitching well in these type of games for you. So you want to get this win, secure the final game, and then you have a big series versus Boston, who hasn't been playing great. You want to step on their throats early, like you did with an Athletics team, and you want to come out and win. Take 2 out of 3 or sweep. We have to start racking up series wins after series wins, especially if Judge is going to be out. Try and get out ahead of this AL East before Judge comes back, because I don't want you to rush Judge, make him go on the IL, and come back with no problems, no issues. So we get the great Judge that we've been witnessing for the last few years. That's the Judge that I want. Don't rush him back. Make him come back better, because we need him in October to make a run for the 28th World Series. Now, I would like to close off this video with a Let's Go Knicks taking game 1 in San Antonio. The comeback, love it. Let's go, Knicks fans. Hopefully we keep it up, I say Knicks in 5. Let's do it. So tomorrow when the lineup comes out, I'll probably hop on here, do a quick video if there's some updates, go over the lineup, what I want to see before the game. And that's it, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. That's Lorenzo Scarabino signing out from the Yankees Den. As always, let's go Yanks.